Hello students, this is grade 10 physics class, chapter 14, sources of energy. In previous video class, we have seen a thermal power plant and then hydro power plant, or otherwise we can say hydroelectricity, isn't it? Yes. In this session, we will start our next topic. So in order to start our next topic, we must recall what are the things we have seen in previous video class. Okay, so let's get started. So in previous video class, we have seen the thermal power plant. What is that? Thermal power plant. How does the thermal power plant work? Then we have seen the schematic diagram of the working function of thermal power plant, then advantage and disadvantages of a thermal power plant, and so many things. Isn't it? Yes. So what is thermal power plants? Why do we need thermal power plants? See, day by day, the usage of electric energy level is increasing. Am I right? Yes. So corresponding that need also increases. The electricity generation need also increases. So due to which, so in an environment, so different varieties of the source of energy is converts into some usable form of energy like electrical energy. So one of the method to generate electric energy, that is thermal power plant. One of the method, that is thermal power plant, isn't it? Is in thermal power plant, the heat energy is required to rotate the turbine, to rotate the turbine or propeller to generate electricity. That is called thermal power plant. What is that? Thermal power plant. Here, which is very important source to generate electricity, that is coal. That is coal. The burning of coal is a very important source to generate electricity in thermal power plant, isn't it? Yes. So what is the advantage of the thermal power plant? Advantage is in thermal power plant, the large amount of electric energy is generated every year. Large amount of electric energy is generated. That is one of the advantage, isn't it? Yes. And next one advantage of this thermal power plant, that manufacturing of the equipment is less cost. Even the protection of generation of electricity also, so less cost. Okay, that's all. Next, come to disadvantage of the thermal power plant. That is, what is that? Because look at here, in thermal power plant, which is very important source, the burning of coal is very important. So when coal is burning, this leads to environmental pollution. The first disadvantage of the thermal power plant, what is that? That is, it causes environmental pollution for this first one, isn't it? Yes. And second one, what is that, sir? Second one, look at here, in thermal power plant, the burning of coal is very important, which means coal is very important source. Coal is under the category of non-renewable energy source. Once it is completely used up, we cannot get back. So thermal power plant, in thermal power plant, we can generate the electricity for only limited years, limited days. Then the coal is completely used up, we cannot generate electricity through this thermal power plant. That is one of the very big disadvantage of that thermal power plant, isn't it? Yes. So next, come to this second one, that is hydro power plant. What is that? Hydro power plant, or otherwise we can say that is called hydroelectricity. Hydro means, what is that? Hydro means nothing but that is water, flowing water. So with help of the flowing water, we can generate the electricity. That is called hydro power station, or otherwise we can say hydro power plant, isn't it? Yes. So mostly the dam is constructed in hilly areas to collect the rainwater as in the form of river, isn't it? Yes. So when the river water stagnated in particular place, the kinetic energy of the flowing water is converted into potential energy, because at a reservoir the water level increases. So the kinetic energy of the flowing water is converted into potential energy. So when the large amount of water, so rainwater is collected, stagnated in particular place, which makes reservoir. What is that? Reservoir. Do you know what is reservoir? Already I taught in the previous video class. Reservoir means nothing but natural or artificial lake to store water for supplying. That is called, what is that? Reservoir. Tamil we say ஏரி குளம் இதெல்லாம் சொல்லலையா, that is reservoir. Okay, yes. Next, when the water level is increased in high level at reservoir, what will happen? There will be sluice gate, which means sliding gate. When the sliding gate is open, the stagnated water at reservoir will come out forcefully through the pipe. Okay, on other side of the dam there will be propeller, which means turbine chamber. Okay, yes. So this water, the forcefully flowing water allows to the turbine chamber. So when the flowing water falls on the turbine automatically starts rotating very fast. Then the turbine is connected with the generator, so along with that shaft. So when the turbine rotates, correspondingly the shaft also rotate. Then this rotation creates, which means generate electricity in power generator. So this is how electricity is generated in hydro power plant. Is it clear? Yes. In last class I have drawn the schematic diagram of that hydro power plant. Is it clear? Yes. Next, come to this advantage of hydro power plant. What is the advantage of hydro power plant? Advantage. Yes, that is very important advantage. That is pollution free environment, which means the hydro power station makes or causes pollution free environment, because we are generating the electricity by only the flowing water. We doesn't burn anything. We doesn't burn any chemical substances like burning of coal in thermal power plant, isn't it? Yes. So here we just generate the electricity by the flowing of water. Okay, so it causes a pollution free environment. There is no pollution. There will not be any pollution occur due to this hydro power station. Is it clear? Yes. Next disadvantage, another one advantage of this hydro power station, what is that? Even in India, especially in India, 1/4 of electricity contributed by this hydro power station. How much? 1/4 electricity generations contributed by only hydro power station. Okay, which means 25% of electricity generating full and full contributed by this hydro power station. That is very big advantage. Okay, first one pollution free, and second one, what is that? 1/4 of electricity generation contributed by this hydro power station. Okay, yes, that's all, isn't it? It's clear. Yes. Next, come to disadvantage. So due to this construction of dam, some large amount of the agricultural land gets destroyed. And then as well as some animals, the birds, the organisms such as flora fauna get destroyed. Is it clear? Yes. And second one, the construction of dam, this leads to imbalance in ecosystem, because some vegetation get destroyed, some forest get destroyed, organisms get destroyed. This leads to some imbalance in ecosystem. Okay, yes. So next another one disadvantage of this hydro power station, that is vegetation destroyed. Okay, next another one, Due to this construction of dam in hilly areas to collect the water as make into reservoir, the fishes which is in a downstream do not get sufficient nutrient because they are only stagnated in particular place, so they do not get sufficient nutrient to survive. So these all are the disadvantage of this hydropower station. Is it clear? Yes. So till now we have seen up to this, isn't it? Yes. In this session we will start our next topic, that is very interesting topic. What is that, sir? You may ask me. That is energy from sea. What is that? Energy from sea. So next topic, what is that? Energy from sea. So already we know in our surroundings we convert different kinds of source of energy into some usable form of energy. So many usable form of energy. Likewise, look at here, see the sea water also. From sea water also we can convert some usable form of energy like electrical energy. Do you think that is possible? Yes, of course that is possible. We can generate electricity from sea water. Not only sea water, sea and ocean water. Sea and ocean water. That is very interesting one. How it is possible, sir? Just water is there, sir. Just salty water is there. Then how can we produce electricity from the sea water, sea or ocean water? We can produce. So next one, that is the protection of electricity from sea or ocean water. That is energy from sea. Okay, yes. So in energy from sea, first one we will see, that is wave energy. First one, that is wave energy. So many energies are there. Okay, from sea water, from sea or ocean water, we can generate the electricity in so many ways. One of the first way, that is wave energy. After that we will see ocean thermal energy. Isn't it? Yes. First we will see wave energy. What is that? Wave energy. See, energy from sea, that is a main title. Subtitle, that is wave energy. Subtitle, wave energy. Is it clear? Yes. So let's get started. What is wave energy, sir? What is wave energy? Yes. The title reveals the answer here. Title reveals the answer. So energy is generated. Look at here. Energy. What energy? Electric energy. Electric energy is generated from sea or ocean waves. Sea or ocean waves. That is called wave energy. Please try to understand my concept. Very easy one. Okay, very, very easy one. So energy is generated. What energy? Electric energy. Okay, which means electricity. So electric energy is generated from sea or ocean waves. That is called wave energy. Okay, yes, very simple. So what comes to your mind when you think of sea and ocean? What comes to your mind when you think of sea and ocean? Yes, obviously that is waves. What is that? That is waves. You might have seen waves are generated in sea or ocean, and they are hits on the shore with great force and great sound. Am I right? Do you know what is shore? Shore, yes, H-O-R-E, shore, which means nothing but, Tamil we say கடற்கரைன்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, கடற்கரை, மணல்லாம் இருக்குல்ல, கடற்கரை, that is shore. அந்த கரை சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, கரை, பீச் இருக்கக்கூடிய கரை, that is shore. Okay. So waves are ocean and they are hits on the shore with great force and great sound, which means loud sound. Isn't it? Yes. So next question rises here. What is wave, sir? What is wave? Wave means nothing but the up down movement of the water. What is that? The up down movement of the sea or ocean water is called wave. Very simple. What is that wave? The up down movement of the sea or ocean water, surface water is called wave. Is called wave. Isn't it? Yes. So next question rising here. What causes waves in sea and ocean? What causes waves in sea and ocean? You tell me. What causes? What will be there? What will be there? Yes, of course, that is blowing wind. What is that? Blowing wind. The blowing wind causes waves in sea and ocean. Blowing wind causes waves in sea and ocean water. Okay, consider this is sea. This is sea. Sea or ocean, you consider that. Consider this is sea. Okay, yes. So when blowing water, look at here, when blowing wind, look at here, when this is blowing wind, when the blowing wind hits on the surface of the sea or ocean water, what will happen? Already the blowing wind possesses kinetic energy. Am I right? Already this blowing wind possesses kinetic energy. Okay, so with kinetic when the blowing wind forcefully hits on the surface of the sea or ocean water, which makes up-down movement. Like this. Which make up-down movement like this. This up-down movement of the sea or ocean water, surface water, is known as wave. Okay, yes. Actually, the waves are generated in sea or ocean. Waves are generated sea, and they get destroyed in shore. Shore means what is that? SHORE, shore, which means Kadakarai. Tamil we say Kadakarai. Beach or Kadakarai, that is shore. Okay, look at here. When the blowing wind hits on the surface of the sea water, what will happen? Which makes this kinetic energy of the blowing wind makes up-down movement of the surface of the sea water. That is considered as wave. Is it clear? Yes. So generally waves are generated in where? In ocean or sea, and they get destroyed in shore. Okay, because every fraction of second, okay, every second the waves are hits on the shore and gets destroyed there. Is it clear? Yes, very simple. So this formation of wave is a continuous phenomenon. The formation of wave and destroying on the shore is a continuous phenomena. It's continuously it is happen. Okay, every second, every minute it is happening again and again. That is continuous process. Is it clear? Yes. Look at here. With the help of this wave, electricity is generated. What is that? Electricity is generated. Do you think that is possible? Of course, that is possible. One. So with help of this up-down movement of the sea or ocean water, electricity has been generated. Very easy one. So next we will see how does electricity is generated by this movement, up-down movement of the sea or ocean water. Is it clear? Yes. Look at here. I'll draw the diagram. The wave energy diagram, you listen here. What is this? That is wave. that is wave. Okay, so look at here, there will be one float, there will be one floating material. That floating material is connected with cable. So this is a schematic diagram of this wave energy. This is float. This is magnetic column, and this one generator coil. Here this is safely securely anchored. This one C bed. This is C bed. So this region C bed. This region C bed. Okay, look at here. So this is a schematic diagram of this wave energy formation. This is a wave energy formation. Okay, look at here. What is this, sir? Look at here. This is sea or ocean. Consider this is sea or ocean. Sea or ocean. Sea or ocean. Okay, yes. One float is there. Okay, above the surface of the water, one float is floating. Float means nothing but that is floating substance. It can be plastics or whatever it is. Okay, one floating substance is floating. That floating substance is connected with the magnetic column. Inside the magnetic column there will be generator coil, like, which means like a generator, that is act as a generator. So what is the work of the generator? Which creates electric energy. So generator coil is there. That generator coil is connected with another one substance. That substance is securely anchored on seabed. Then other end is connected with cable to store water. Storage of electricity. So this is cable. That is cable. Through this cable, electricity is generated next site. Okay, which means above the surface of the sea or ocean water. So this is a schematic diagram of wave energy. Okay, yes, look at here. So consider this is sea or ocean water. Then this is upper surface. Okay, this is upper surface of the sea or ocean water. Then above the water surface there will be one float. The float always floating on the surface of the water. This float, another end is connected with the magnetic column. This is magnetic column. Inside the magnetic column there will be very powerful generator coil. The generator coil work is to generate the electricity. Isn't it? Yes. So then another end of this generator coil is anchored securely. Which means that is built securely inside, which means on the seabed. Okay, yes. Then there is a cable. This cable which is used to store the electricity. Outside of the sea or ocean. Okay, so this is one of the method of energy formation by wave. By the sea or ocean waves. This is one of the method. Okay, so many methods are there. Okay, so look at here, very important point, this one. To form the electric energy by the wave, so many methods are there. This is one of the method to generate electricity by the waves of sea and ocean water. Sea and ocean waves. Is it clear? Yes. So this is one of the method. Okay, yes. How does it work, sir? You may ask me, how does it work? How does it work? Look at here. This is C. Consider when the blowing wind falls. What is it? This is blowing wind. When the blowing wind falls on the surface of the sea or ocean water, what will happen? There will be wave. There will be wave. What is wave? The up-down movement of the surface of the water, sea or ocean water, that is called wave. So when the blowing water hits on the surface of the sea or ocean, which makes wave, which means up-down movement. Am I right? Up-down movement. When the surface of the sea or ocean water moves up-down, according this float also move up-down. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong? Yes. The float also move up-down. Okay. As the sea or ocean water moves up-down, correspondingly, this float also moves up and down. Okay, like up down. Is it clear? Yes. When the float moves up down, this coil also moves up down. Okay, because the float is connected with the generator coil, which is kept inside the magnetic column. Am I right? Yes. So this coil also moves up and down very, very fast. Okay, so this up down movement which makes electric energy. The up down movement of the electric coil present inside the magnetic column, which creates electric energy. So this electric energy is securely, which means safely, transferred through the cable and stored outside of the sea or ocean. Outside of the sea or ocean. This is one of the very intelligent technology to generate the electricity. Is it clear? Yes. That's all about the wave energy wave energy. Okay, look at here. What is the conclusion here? When the blowing wind falls on the surface of the sea or ocean, which creates wave. As the surface of the sea or ocean water moves up and down, according the float also moves up down. What is that? Up down. So when the float moves up down, this magnetic coil also moves up down, because the magnetic coil is connected with float. When the float moves up down, the magnetic coil also moves up down. So this movement of the generator coil, which creates electricity. So this electricity is safely transferred through the cable and stored outside of the sea or ocean. That's all. So this is how electricity is generated by waves, sea or ocean waves. This is one of the method. Is it clear? Yes, that's all, very easy one. So next we will see advantage. Next we will see advantages of this wave energy. What is advantage, sir? First advantage, that is pollution free method. This wave energy method is a pollution free method. Am I right? Yes. Pollution free, which makes pollution free environment. This wave energy causes pollution free environment because electricity is generated just the flowing of water, by the flowing of water only. Here not any other fossil fuels burning here. Okay, not any other fossil fuels burning here. Here electricity is generated just the movement of the water. That's all. So this wave energy causes a pollution free environment. What is that? Pollution free environment. So next one, what is it, sir? Next one, we can generate the electricity for long years. Because water is one of the renewable sources of energy. Am I right? Renewable source of energy. So here we can generate the electricity for long years. Okay, so second advantage, that is renewable sources of energy. Renewable sources of energy. Renewable source of energy. First advantage, what is that? This wave energy formation makes pollution free environment, because here here no other fossil fuels burning here. Okay, electricity generates just the up down movement of the surface of the water, that's all. And second one is a non renewable energy source. Water is here, electricity is generated because of only the water, the waves of the water. So we can generate the electricity for long years because water is one of the renewable sources of energy. Okay, they never get exhausted, isn't it? Yes, that's all. So that's all about the advantage. Next, disadvantage. What will be disadvantages, sir? What will be the disadvantage, sir? So next, disadvantage. First very important disadvantage of this wave energy is we don't have the proper technology to utilize the wave energy. Still now we don't have proper technology, correct technology to utilize the wave energy. Okay, that is very big one. We don't have technology. Still now we don't have proper technology to utilize the wave energy. That is very big disadvantage, because few countries only they are producing electricity by the wave energy. Okay, by the wave energy. Okay, yes, that is very big one. And second one, so during bad weather condition, this setup, this equipment may get damaged. Am I right or wrong? May get damaged. Okay, so weather conditions such as the tsunami or storm and so many things. Okay, thunderstorm and so many things. This equipment may get damaged. So again, we need to spend more money to replace that, to replace the equipment. That is second one disadvantage. The equipment cost is more. Equipment cost too high, because this setup is placed in water, inside the sea or ocean water. So during bad weather conditions such as a tsunami, a thunderstorm and storm, this equipment may get damaged. So again we have to spend lots of money to replace that. That is very big disadvantage of this wave energy source. That's all. Wave energy source. Okay, so that's all about the wave energy. So wave energy completed. Okay students, yes, first advantage, what is that? Pollution free, which causes pollution free environment. And second one, what is that? That is a renewable source of energy. Then first disadvantage, we don't have the proper technology to utilize the wave energy. And second one, what is that? So during bad weather condition, the devices, equipments may get damaged. So again we have to spend more money. Okay, more money to replace that. So that is second one. Equipment cost is too high. Okay, yes, that's all. So wave energy completed. That's all. Next we will see the ocean thermal energy. What is that, sir? Ocean thermal energy. So next we will see ocean thermal energy. Second one, ocean thermal energy. What is that? Ocean thermal energy, isn't it? Yes, title reveals the answer. Ocean thermal energy. What is thermal, sir? Thermal, which means heat. Look at here ocean, that water heat which is used to make energy, some usable form of energy, that is called ocean thermal energy. Okay, look at here, thermal, which means heat. So ocean or sea water heat. ocean or sea water heat which is used to convert, which is used to form some usable form of energy like electrical energy, that is known as ocean thermal energy. That is called ocean thermal energy. Very easy. When the title reveals the answer. Title reveals the answer. Okay, yes. So look at here, consider, let's get started. Consider this is ocean. What is this? This is ocean. That is, consider this is ocean. Okay, yes. This is ocean. Okay, sunlight is there. Which means sun is there. This is sun. That is sun. Okay, consider this is ocean and sun is there. When sunlight falls on the surface of the ocean water, what will happen? When sunlight falls on the surface of the ocean water, what will happen? The surface of the ocean water absorbs the sunlight and becomes warm. Okay, look at here. When the sunlight falls on the surface of the ocean water, the surface of the ocean water absorbs the sunlight and becomes warm. Okay, which means hot. So the surface water becomes, what is that? Surface water become warm. Surface water become warm. Isn't it? Yes. Isn't it? Yes. Then as the distance increases, which means as the distance goes very deeper and deeper inside the sea, what will happen? So up to 2 kilometer, the water will be cold. Am I right? The water will be cold water. We hear cold. Because only the surface water only absorb the heat energy, but inside, as the distance goes deeper and deeper inside the sea or ocean, the water will be cold water. The water will be cold water because sunlight never reach inside, very deeper inside the sea or ocean. Sunlight never enter. Sunlight never enters very deeper into the sea or ocean up to 2 kilometer. Okay, up to 2 kilometers distance from the surface of the water to deeper and deeper inside the sea or ocean. Is it clear? Yes. Look at here. So this surface water becomes warm, then the inside water becomes cold. Because the inside, as the distance increases deeper and deeper inside the sea or ocean, the sunlight never enter into deeper. Okay, so the deeper water become cold. So there is a temperature difference. Is it clear? There is temperature difference because the surface water temperature will be more, whereas the deeper water temperature will be less. Here the temperature more, surface water. This is surface water. Temperature more, but at deeper temperature less. Am I right or wrong? Yes. So at surface the temperature will be more, but at deeper the temperature level will be less. So there is a temperature difference between the surface of the ocean water and the deeper of the ocean water. Is it clear? And deeper of the ocean water. So this temperature difference will be around 20 degrees Celsius. 20 degrees Celsius. The temperature difference between the surface of the ocean water and the deeper of the ocean water will be around, not exactly, around 20 degrees Celsius. How much? 20 degrees Celsius. So this temperature difference used to generate electricity. This temperature difference which is used to generate electricity. Do you think that is possible? Yes, Of course that is possible. With the help of this temperature difference between the surface of the ocean water and the deeper of the ocean water, we can generate the electricity. Very very important point, this one. Okay, very easy. I'll repeat again. So next one, ocean thermal energy. What is that? Ocean thermal energy. Thermal means what is that? A heat. So ocean water heat energy, which is used to generate some usable form of energy like electrical energy, that is called ocean thermal energy. That is called ocean thermal energy. Consider this is ocean. This is ocean. Sun is there. Okay, sun is there. When sunlight falls on the surface of the ocean water, what will happen? The surface water absorbs the heat and becomes warm. Which means hot. Becomes warm. Is it clear? Yes. So surface of the water, surface of the ocean water acts as a warm water. Isn't it clear? Yes. As the distance increases from the surface of the water to deeper and deeper inside the sea or deeper and deeper inside the ocean, the temperature level will be less. Okay, temperature level will be less. What temperature? Water temperature will be less. So at a deeper level, up to 2 kilometer, the distance how much? 2 kilometer. Up to 2 kilometer, the temperature of the ocean water will be less. So that is considered as cold water. Which means the surface of the ocean water temperature will be more, whereas at deeper the temperature of the ocean water will be less here. So there is a temperature difference between the surface of the water and the deeper water. That temperature difference will be around 20 degrees Celsius. How much? 20 degrees Celsius. Is that clear? Yes, 20 degrees Celsius. So there is always the temperature difference between the surface of the ocean water and the deeper of the ocean water. This temperature difference which is used to generate electricity. Yes. Next we will see how electricity is generated with help of this temperature difference between the surface of the water and the deeper water. Is that clear? Yes. Let's get started. Next I'll draw the diagram. You look at here. I'll draw the diagram. You look at here. That diagram is not in your NCERT book. Okay, I'll draw here for your clarification. Okay, yes. Listen here. What is this? This is ocean. Sea or ocean, whatever it is, no problem. This is ocean. This is ocean and this is upper surface. What is it? This is upper surface. Upper surface of the ocean water. Okay, here temperature more. It's a warm water. Actually, it's warm water. This is warm water. And this one, consider this is deeper. Okay, deeper area. Here temperature will be cold. See, water temperature will be very less, so that is considered as cold water. So upper surface, that is warm water. Okay, next I'll draw the diagram. You look at here. The distance between the surface and the deeper will be up to 2 kilometer. Okay, I'll draw the diagram. You look at here. This is very important diagram. This is shaft. The shaft is connected with generator. This is generator, very powerful generator. So here warm water pumped from surface. This warm water is pumped from surface. Here cold water pumped from deeper or depth, we can write from depth. Okay, here. So this is evaporator. That is evaporator, and this one is a condenser, and this one generator, and this one turbine chamber. That one turbine chamber. Okay, again this gas will come, this one, the ammonia gas. There will be ammonia, not a gas, the liquid form of ammonia. Okay, so look at here, this is schematic diagram of this ocean thermal energy formation. This is a schematic diagram of ocean thermal energy formation. Okay, look at here. So this is ocean, and this is a pipe. The pipe is immersed in surface of the water, surface of the ocean water, isn't it? Yes. The another end is connected with the evaporator. This is evaporator. Okay. Then this evaporator is connected with the turbine chamber. Inside the turbine chamber there is turbine propeller. Okay, yes. Then the propeller, which means a turbine, which is connected with the generator. Next, the other end of this turbine chamber is connected with the condenser. Condenser is there, isn't it? Yes. Look at here. Then another one pipe which is immersed very deeper, up to 2 kilometer distance from the surface of the ocean, and connected with the condenser here. Okay, yes, this is a schematic diagram of the ocean thermal energy. What is that? Ocean thermal energy. Look at here, this is evaporator. In evaporator there will be volatile liquid. What is that, sir? Volatile liquid. So what is volatile liquid, sir? What is volatile liquid? Volatile liquid which nothing but the liquid which get easily evaporated at normal temperature. What is that? Liquid which gets evaporated easily at normal temperature, that is called volatile liquid. Here ammonia is one of the volatile liquid. Ammonia, liquid ammonia. What is that? Liquid ammonia is one of the volatile liquid. And CFC, chlorofluorocarbon. What is that? Chlorofluorocarbon, liquid chlorofluorocarbon, that is also one of the volatile liquid. Okay, what is volatile liquid? A liquid which get easily evaporated at normal temperature, even room temperature also, that is called volatile liquid. Ammonia is one of the volatile liquid, liquid ammonia, as well as liquid chlorofluorocarbon, that is also one of the volatile liquid. Okay, in evaporator there will be ammonia, liquid form of ammonia, or otherwise sometimes CFC, chlorofluorocarbon, also used in evaporator, because both are volatile liquid. They get easily evaporated at normal temperature. Is it clear? Yes. So inside the evaporator there will be ammonia, a liquid form of ammonia. Am I right or wrong? What is that? Liquid form of ammonia. So look at here. So when the warm water pumped up through the pipe, when the warm water, okay, because this pipe is immersed only the upper surface of the water, okay, just below the upper surface of the water, isn't it? Yes. So already we know the upper surface water level will be more temperature, high temperature compared than deeper, isn't it? So when the warm water pumped up through this pipe, this warm water goes through the pipe and goes to evaporator, this is evaporator. So already we know in evaporator there is ammonia, liquid form of ammonia. Already we know liquid form of ammonia is there in evaporator. So this liquid form of ammonia is one of the volatile liquid. They get easily evaporated at normal temperature. At normal temperature. So but we are, look at here, so we are passing the warm water through the pipe to this evaporator, so that water temperature is more, due to the more temperature of this water, the ammonia gets evaporated easily. This ammonia gets evaporated easily. Is it clear? Ammonia gets evaporated easily. So this ammonia changes into, liquid form of ammonia changes into steam. What is that? Steam, which means vaporized ammonia. Okay, steam. So as the pressure increases inside this evaporator, as the pressure increases, so the high pressure this ammonia passes through the pipe chamber, where turbine chamber. So this high pressure steam allows to pass into the turbine chamber forcefully. So this high pressurized steam, ammonia steam, falls on the turbine, due to which the turbine starts rotating very fast. Is it clear? Yes. So when the turbine rotates, corresponding the shaft also rotates. What is shaft? Shaft means nothing but the long rod. So this long rod also rotates. So another end of the shaft is connected with, so this is shaft. The another end of the shaft is connected with the generator. So due to this rotation of the turbine, the generator generates the electricity. Generator generates the electricity. Is it clear? Yes, very simple. So look at here. So when now come to this point. So when the pressurized steam, ammonia steam, goes through the turbine chamber, due to this rotation of the turbine chamber, some amount of this ammonia comes to this one, through this gap, and comes to condenser here. This is condenser. Do you know what is condenser? The device which cools the liquid. The device which cools the steam. Generally we say steam. The device which cools the steam, that is called condenser. Okay, look at here. Now come to this point. So already we know at deeper the temperature of the water will be less, that is cold water. Okay, it will be, already I have written here, it will be cold water. Okay, so when the cold water pumped up, look at here, when the cold water pumped up from the deeper level up to 2 kilometers through the pipe, this is pipe, through the pipe, this cold water comes to condenser here. This cold water comes to this condenser here. Already we know this water temperature is less, which means that is cold water, isn't it? This is cold water. So this vaporized, which means steam form of ammonia, comes this condenser from this turbine chamber again here, isn't it? Due to this cold water, this vapor form of this ammonia again changes into liquid form of ammonia. Am I right? Because condensation process happening here. What process? Condensation process happening here. Condensation process happening here. What is condensation process? The water vapor changes into water. Okay, generally vapor. Here not a water, it's a ammonia. So vapor changes into again liquid. That is called condensation process. So here this vapor form of ammonia again changes into liquid form of ammonia by this condenser, by this cold water. Again this liquid, note this point, again this liquid form of ammonia goes to again this evaporator. Again this evaporator. So this is one cycle. This is one cycle. Okay, same this manner again this process happens. Again the process happens again and again. Okay, so this is one cycle. Is it clear? Very easy. Please try to understand the concept. Okay, I'll again repeat that. So this surface water is warm water, and at deep depth, which means depth, the water temperature is less, that is considered cold water. So this pipe is connected with the evaporator. This is the evaporator, and another end of the evaporator is connected with the turbine chamber. Inside the turbine chamber there will be turbine propeller. Then the turbine is connected with the generator along with the shaft. Shaft means nothing but a long rod. Then other end of the turbine chamber is connected with the condenser. This is condenser. Okay, condenser, and another one pipe which is connected at deeper of the water inside the ocean, and this condenser. Okay, just look at here. Inside the evaporator there is volatile liquid, that is ammonia liquid. Okay, because ammonia is easily get evaporated at normal temperature. Sometimes chlorofluorocarbon also has been used. Okay, yes. So when the warm water pumped up from the surface of the ocean water, already we know surface of the ocean water is temperature more, that is considered as warm water. So this warm water pumped through this pipe and goes to evaporator. So already in evaporator there is ammonia, liquid form of ammonia is there. Okay, liquid form of ammonia is a volatile liquid. It gets easily evaporated at normal temperature. So this water temperature is more, due to which this ammonia gets vaporized easily, which means the liquid form of ammonia changes into what? Steam, which means vapor. So when the high pressured vapor passes through this pipe, which goes to turbine chamber. Okay, which goes to steam, which goes to turbine chamber. So this high pressure steam of the ammonia falls on the turbine. Automatically the turbine starts rotating very fast. So when the turbine rotates, according this shaft also rotates. The another end of the shaft is connected with the generator. So due to this rotation of this turbine, the generator generates the electricity. Is it clear? Yes. Next, due to this rotation, some amount of the steam, steam ammonia comes to the condenser here. Okay, so there will be some amount of ammonia spins inside the turbine chamber. That spending ammonia comes to the condenser here. Condenser is here. Okay, next look at here. Next come to this part. Next another one pipe which is present very deep inside the ocean water. So already we know at deeper the temperature level will be very less, that is considered as cold water. The cold water pumped up through this pipe and comes to condenser. So due to this cold water, the vapor form of ammonia again changes into liquid form of ammonia, because condensation process happening here. Already we know what is condensation. Vapor changes into again liquid, that is condensation. So the vapor form of ammonia changes into liquid form by this cold water, which is pumped from the very deeper inside the ocean. Again this liquid form of ammonia goes to the evaporated again. This is one cycle. This is how the process happening again and again. Okay, so this is how electricity also generated there. That's all. Okay, so here this ocean water heat energy is converts into some usable form of energy like electric energy. That's all. Is there any doubt? No doubt. Okay, very easy one. You don't get panic. Okay, here which volatile liquid is used? Ammonia. Sometimes chlorofluorocarbon also is used here. Okay, yes. Next we will see advantage and disadvantage of this one. Advantage and disadvantage of this ocean thermal energy. Simply we say that is OTE. Short form we will say OTE, which means ocean thermal energy. That's all. The advantage of this ocean thermal energy. First one advantage, what will be there, sir? First one advantage, it causes pollution free environment. Okay, it causes pollution free environment. Pollution free environment, that is first one. Because here no one fossil fuel is burning here. Here electricity is generated due to the temperature difference between the surface of the ocean water and the depth of the ocean water. Nothing fossil fuel is burning here. Am I right? So it causes pollution free environment. Okay, because electricity is generated by the water, just a water. Am I right? Yes. And second one, here in ocean thermal energy is from the ocean thermal energy, electricity generated by water. What is the temperature difference between the water? Am I right? So water is one of the renewable source of energy. So we can generate the electricity throughout the year for long days, for long year. That is another one advantage. So it is renewable sources of energy. We can get back again and again. Renewable sources of energy. So we can generate the electricity again and again throughout the year as well as for long days. Okay, that is another one advantage. Is it clear? Yes. And disadvantage, what will be the disadvantage, sir? What will be the disadvantage, sir? You may ask me. Yes. Disadvantage, this setup cost is high. Cost high. This setup, this equipment cost is high. Okay, even this ocean thermal energy is established in few countries only. Okay, just a few countries. Okay, even India is available, but very minimal quantity, very minimal amount. Okay, but most of the developed countries, they are using that. In few regions they are using that, like USA, France, Japan, and so many countries. Okay, but because this cost is too high, so that is a very big disadvantage of this ocean thermal energy. Okay, yes, that's all. So what is the advantage? First one advantage, that is it causes pollution free environment, and second one is a renewable source of energy. But disadvantages is cost is too high, so most of the countries, developing countries, cannot establish that. Okay, yes. Next one, that equipment, or even that the protection of electricity level is minimum. Okay, this with help of this ocean thermal energy, the protection of electricity level is minimum. Okay, whereas the wind energy, hydroelectric energy, and thermal power plant, which produces maximum more amount of electricity, but with help of this ocean thermal energy, electricity is generated by very minimal amount. Electric generation is very minimal amount. That is another one disadvantage. You write down in your classbook note. Okay, that's all. So that's all about the advantage and disadvantage of this one. Next we will see geothermal energy. Geothermal energy, very easy one. What is it? Geothermal energy. So energy from sea completed. Next one, topic, geothermal energy. Geothermal energy. Okay, what is the word meaning geo, sir? What is the word meaning geo? Geo, which means earth. Geo, which means earth. Thermal, which means heat. Okay, next we will see geothermal energy. The word geo, which means earth, and thermal, which means heat. So the title reveals the answer. The earth heat which is used to make some usable form of energy is called geothermal energy. That is called geothermal energy. The earth that is used to generate some usable form of energy like electrical energy is called geothermal energy. That is called geothermal energy. Very simple. Okay, still earth core is very hot. Very hot, as in the form of magma. Am I right or wrong? Yes, I'll draw the diagram. Look at here. Consider this is earth and this is earth core. I'll draw the full diagram. This is earth. Consider this is earth core. What is it? This is earth. This is earth core. Still, look at here. Still, the earth core temperature is very high, as in the form of magma. That is magma. That is very hot region. That is very hot region. So, with the help of this hot region, which means with the help of this earth heat, we can generate electricity. That is called geothermal energy. That is called geothermal energy. In some region, look at here, in some region, the temperature level is too high, even below the surface, especially in the country of New Zealand, then USA, and Canada. The earth temperature is too high, even just below the surface of the earth. Okay, so this heat energy which is used to convert some usable form of energy like electric energy. Is it clear? So next we are going to see that is geothermal energy. Is it clear? Very simple. What is geothermal energy? Earth heat energy which is used to convert some usable form of energy like electrical energy is called geothermal energy. Okay, so look at here. This is earth. Still the earth core is very hot. Very hot. Is it clear? Not only earth core, even some rocks also becomes molten. You know what is molten? Tamil will say urigi poradhu. Okay, yes. So still the earth core is very hot, as in the form of magma. So in some regions, not all regions, note this point, not all regions, in some regions, just below the earth's surface, the molten rocks are there. Okay, that heat of the earth is used to convert some usable form of energy like electrical energy. Next we will see that. Okay, yes. Next I'll draw the schematic diagram. You look at here. Consider, listen here. This is surface. Consider that is earth surface. Okay, earth surface. You just consider that. Earth surface, this one. And inside the earth, what will be there? Some rock particles are there, tectonic plates are there, then magma also is there. Okay, so look at here. So this is very hot region. This is hot region. That is hot region because still inside the earth temperature is too high, as in the form of magma. Is it clear? Yes. So consider this is hot region, this is earth surface, and and rocks are there, so many rocks are there, the rock beds are there, tectonic plates are there, even groundwater also is there. What is that? Groundwater also is there. Consider this is groundwater. See, earth temperature, earth core, which means earth magma comes out, every day comes out as in the form of volcano. Okay, volcano. Mostly it happens in the country of Japan. Japan country is familiar. Volcano is familiar. Volcano eruption is happening every day. Every day volcano eruption is happening there. Okay, yes, look at here. So this is earth surface. That is earth surface, and this is hot region. Hot region. Is it clear? Yes. Come to this point. The place where the temperature level is very high inside the earth, that is called hot spot. That region is called hot spot. That region is called hot spot. Look at here, note my word. The place where the temperature is more high. Temperature is more high inside the earth, that place is called hot spot. This is very important, one more question. That place is called hot spot. Inside the, okay, this is for only geothermal energy. Inside the earth, that place is called hot spot. What is that? Hot spot. Okay, so already we know, still the earth core temperature is too high as in the form of magma. Okay, as in the form of magma. So consider this is that region, hot region. So the surroundings rock becomes melt. Okay, the surroundings rock become melt. That is considered as molten rocks. Am I right? Yes. So inside the earth there is groundwater also. Okay, there is groundwater also. There is groundwater also. So when the groundwater comes on contact with these molten rocks, note this point, very very important point. When this groundwater comes on contact with the molten rocks, what will happen? The water converts into water vapor, isn't it? Yes, the water converts into water vapor. So as the temperature increases again and again, here this water vapor undergoes high pressure. The water vapor undergoes high pressure. Am I right or wrong? Yes, undergoes high pressure, isn't it? So here, I'll rub that. The water undergoes high pressure here. So this is high pressure water vapor. High pressure water vapor is there. High pressure water vapor is there. Okay. Yes, high pressure water vapor is there. So as the temperature increases again and again, this water undergoes high pressure. Okay, water vapor undergoes high pressure, isn't it? Yes. So this is earth surface. So when earth surface is drilled, look at here, when the earth surface is drilled into the deeper and deeper, what will happen? This highly pressurized, on this point, this highly pressurized steam, which means water vapor, comes through the pipe. Am I right or wrong? Comes through the pipe. Next, on the earth surface, so there will be propeller, which means turbine in turbine chamber. This turbine is connected with the shaft, and the shaft is connected with the generator. This is generator. It is generator. Okay, look at here. So when the earth surface is drilled, which means water pot ulla porale, that is drilled into the very deeper and deeper, so inside to reach the hot spot. The highly pressurized steam passes through the pipe and goes to the turbine chamber. What is that? Turbine chamber. So inside the turbine chamber there will be turbine. So this highly pressurized water vapor falls on the turbine, due to which the turbine starts rotating automatically. The turbine starts rotate automatically. The turbine is another end connected with the shaft. If the turbine rotates automatically, shaft also rotate. Then another end of the shaft is connected with the generator. So due to this rotation of the turbine, the generator generates the electricity. The generator generates the electricity. So this is one of the one is a method to generate the electricity. Okay, so that is called geothermal energy. What is that? That is called geothermal energy. Very easy concept. Very easy concept. Is it clear? Yes. Look at here. I'll explain again. Still some part of still the earth core is high temperature as in the form of magma. Okay, even some part of the rocks inside the earth becomes very hot till now. Not all the region, some region, especially Japan, then what is the USA, Japan and New Zealand, so many areas. Okay, yes. So this is a hot region, the place where the temperature of the rock is more, that is called hot spot. That place is called hot spot. Is it clear? Yes, the molten rocks will be there. So many molten rocks will be there. So inside the earth there will be rocks, then underground water and soil, and so many things will be there. Okay, yes. So this is a hot region. So due to this hot region, the rocks becomes molten. Rock becomes molten. So when the underground water comes in contact with these molten rocks, what will happen? This water changes into water vapor. Again, the temperature of the molten rocks increases. This water vapor undergoes high pressure. What is that? High pressure. Okay, look at here. This setup completed. Next, come to this is surface of the earth. This is surface of the earth. When we drill the surface of the water into that hot pot region. Okay, so this region will be a few kilometers only, because most of the region just below the earth's surface the temperature level is too high. Just below the surface of the earth the temperature level will be too high, which means the molten rocks are there in some places, not all the places, especially in New Zealand, USA places, Japan places. Okay, yes. So when we drill the earth's surface into the hot spot, the highly pressurized water vapor comes through this pipe, and this high pressure steam passes through the turbine chamber. In turbine chamber there will be propeller, which means a turbine. So due to this high pressure the turbine starts rotating. Okay, so then the turbine is connected with the shaft, the other end of the shaft is connected with the generator. Due to this rotation of this turbine, the generator generates the electricity. So this is one of the method to generate the electricity. Okay, so that is called geothermal energy. Here earth heat energy is converts into some usable form of energy like electric energy. That's all. Okay, very easy one. So in India, this geothermal energy geothermal energy power plant is established in Himachal Pradesh. What is here? Where? Himachal Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. That's all. Himachal Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Okay, but in worldwide level, this geothermal energy power plant established in USA, then New Zealand. Where? New Zealand. That's all. Okay, is it right or wrong? Yes, of course, right. Okay, even another method also is there. Even another method, sometimes two drills happen. Okay, two drills put into the surface of the earth. Then another drilling, cold water poured. Cold water is sport. So when the cold water goes into the hot spot, the water again changes into water vapor, which creates electricity. So this is one of the method. Okay, sometimes two drills happen, but most of the times the one drill only happen. Okay, yes, that's all. Very easy one. Okay, pause the video and draw neatly in your classbook note. Okay, that's it. So next we will see the advantage of this geothermal energy. Advantage of this geothermal energy. Advantage of geothermal energy. What is the advantage, sir? First advantage, it causes pollution free. Am I right? Yes, it causes pollution free environment. Pollution free environment, because no one fossil fuel is burning here, because here energy is extracted from only the nature of the earth core. Okay, it means earth temperature, that's all. So it is pollution free, it causes pollution free environment. Okay, and second one, it is a non-renewable source of energy. Sorry, it's a renewable source of energy. This is renewable sources of energy, so we can get the energies for long day sources of energy. That is renewable source of energy. Okay, yes. Next, disadvantage. What will be the disadvantage, sir? Disadvantage. This geothermal power plant is not suitable for all region. It is not suitable for all region. It is not suitable for all region. Okay, because in India, two places having this geothermal power plant. Okay, one is Himachal Pradesh and another one is Madhya Pradesh. And worldwide level, the few regions only having this geothermal power plant. First one is the USA and second one is New Zealand. That's all. So that is very big one. It's not suitable for all region, because some regions only they are establishing this geothermal power plant. So that's all about the advantage and disadvantage of this geothermal energy. Okay, first advantage, what is that? It causes pollution free environment, and second one, that is renewable source of energy, and disadvantage is not suitable for all region. In worldwide level, some countries only establish this geothermal energies, not all countries. Okay, yes, that's all. Next one we will see. We are in the end of this lesson. We'll complete this lesson in this session. Next we will see the environmental consequence. Next we will see environment consequence. Environment consequence. What is that? Before last topic, that is environment consequence. Okay, yes. See, we have been generating lots of energies from lots of sources. Okay, for example, we have been generating electric energy, solar energy, and so many energies. Okay, do you think it's all energies, all kinds of energy will be good for our environment? All energies will be good for our environment? That is, of course, not. Few energies are good for us and few energies are bad for our environment. That is called this environment consequence. The environment consequence. Not all sources are good for our environment. Isn't it? Some sources may be bad to our environment. Some sources may be good to our environment. That is based on the nature of the sources. And how they are using that is also very important. How we are using that. Okay, for example, the fossil fuels. First one, the fossil fuels fossil fuels such as coal, petrol, diesel, and so many things. Actually, the burning of fossil fuels are polluting our environment. Isn't it? Yes. For example, the thermal power plant, the coal is burning. The coal fuel is burning. This leads to environment pollution. When the burning of coal, this leads to carbon dioxide gas, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, so many gases. This carbon dioxide gas, which leads to a greenhouse, which means this leads to global warming. Then sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide, this leads to acid rain, which is harmful to the crops and vegetation. Okay, yes. So this fossil fuels, the burning of fossil fuels, actually that is harmful to our environment. They are polluting our environment. Is it right or wrong? Yes. Next, the nuclear energy. The nuclear energy also, that is, we can generate the large amount of electricity, but the disposing of the nuclear energy is very, very difficult one, because it creates a radioactive, which means a radiation. This leads to cancer. Okay, yes, this burning of the fossil fuel, that is dangerous to our environment. The nuclear energy, that is dangerous to environment. Then you may ask me, say, what about the renewable sources, sir? I agree that the renewable sources are good to our environment. The renewable source of energy such as the wind, water, which means hydro, then forest, which means as in the form of wood, solar, and so many things. Is it clear? Yes. They all are good. I agree that they all are good only. Good our environment, because they are non-polluting environment. It causes non-polluting environment, isn't it? Yes. But the wind energy, for making the energy from the wind energy to make the equipment, we are polluting that. Okay, for example, wind energy is generated, okay, which means electric energy is generated by the wind, by the propellers. You might have seen the propellers will be there, especially in Tirunelveli district, Ramnath, and so that regions, Kanyakumari districts, and that region. There will be lots of propellers. Am I right or wrong? Yes. To make that propeller in factory, what happens? They are using some other kind of sources like fossil fuels. Am I right? So indirectly they are polluting the environment. For making the propeller, some amount of pollution is happening in our surroundings. Even solar, water also, our last class we have seen what is that the hydro power plant. To manufacture the hydroelectric power plant equipment, we are polluting the environment. We are polluting the environment. Even the solar cooker is one of the equipment. For manufacturing that equipment, we are polluting the environment. So directly as well as indirectly, pollution is happening in our environment. So in reality, no one source is good source. That is conclusion. No one source is good to our environment. No one source is good to our environment. That is conclusion. You may ask me, sir, hydrogen fuel is good, sir, because on burning of hydrogen fuel, it produces only water, sir. But the availability of hydrogen is very low. But as well as the storage and transportation of hydrogen is very, very, very risk one. That is very difficult one. The transportation of hydrogen is not easily, and storage of hydrogen is not easily. That is very complicated one, because hydrogen is very sensitive fuel. It exploits on burning easily, isn't it? That is conclusion. So in reality, no one fuel is good fuel. All fuels are are polluting the environment. It can be LPG, natural gas, fossil fuels, and the manufacturing of this wind equipment and water, hydro power plant equipment, and solar cooker, and so many things. Directly as well as indirectly, they are polluting the environment. That is conclusion. That is called environment consequence. Environment consequence. You may ask me the CNG gas, sir. You may ask, we can use a CNG gas, sir. Am I right? Yes. We can use CNG gas. We can use CNG gas because CNG gas is a less polluting gas in to our environment. CNG gas is less polluting gas is environment. Am I right? Yes. Compare than LPG, CNG is best. From this point, compare than LPG, CNG is best. Compare than coal, LPG is best. Compare than coal, LPG is best. Compare than LPG, CNG is best. Compare than CNG, hydrogen is best. Hydrogen is best. So in reality, no one, look at here, no one fuel is a good fuel, good source of fuel. Okay, all are alternatives. One is dependent on other, one is better than another one. Okay, here coal is better than LPG. LPG is better than CNG. CNG is better than LPG. LPG is better than coal. Here hydrogen is better than CNG. CNG is better than LPG. LPG is better than coal. Okay, so one fuel is better than another one, but in reality, no one fuel is good to our environment. Good to our environment. That is environment consequence. Okay, that's all, students. So next we will see how long, another one topic, how long will an energy last us? How long will an energy last us? This last topic. In this session we will complete this lesson. Okay, how long will an energy source last us? How long will an energy last us? This is the last topic in this lesson. Okay, day by day the need of electric power is increasing. Day by day, every day the need of the electric energy level is increasing because the population increasing. Okay, population increasing as well as electrical gadgets, appliances working level is also corresponding increases, due to which the need of electric energy also increases. Is it clear? Yes. Nowadays, the most of the energies comes from only non-renewable source of energy. Only non-renewable sources of energy. Okay, mostly nowadays majority of the energy comes from only non-renewable sources of energy. The non-renewable source of energy such as coal, petrol, diesel, kerosene, and so on, and some byproducts are there. Okay, for example, if you want to come to school, you use bus. That bus running because of diesel. Or if you want to go to the street or any other market or any other shop, you use motorbike. That bike runs because of petrol. Am I right? We get the electricity, mostly electricity is generated in thermal power plant. That thermal power plant is functioning because of burning of coal. Okay, so nowadays most of the energy is obtained from only the non-renewable sources of energy. What is that? Non-renewable source of energy such as coal, petrol, diesel, kerosene, even natural gas also. Even natural gases also. Okay, so already we know the non-renewable sources one day will get exhausted. Suppose if the non-renewable sources are completely used up, what will happen? In our surroundings? We need some alternative sources. Am I right or wrong? Yes, obviously we need some alternative sources. That alternative sources are maybe, what is that? The solar energy, wind energy, hydro energy, and whatsoever, ocean thermal energy, geothermal energy, whatsoever. Okay, nowadays we are generating electricity from the renewable source also, but that is very limited amount, very small amount compared than the non-renewable source of energy. Compare the non-renewable sources of energy. So if we use, note this point very important, the coal reservoirs and oil reservoirs estimated are expected if we use these fossil fuels as in this range nowadays range, we can get, which means we can get the energies from the fossil fuels around just upcoming 40 years. Upcoming just 40 years only. 40 years only the fossil fuels will be there. After 40 years, fossil fuels will completely used up. At the time we need some alternative sources. Who estimated that? The coal reservoirs, then oil reservoirs estimated that if we use in this range, if we use these fossil fuels in this range, we can use the fossil fuels for just upcoming 40 years. Just upcoming around, exactly it's approximately 40 years. After 40 years, the coal and the fossil fuels will not be there. Then we need some alternative sources. Okay, yes. So day by day we are using lots of energies. My suggestion is please reduce the usage of unwanted uses of the fossil fuels and so many things. Okay, yes, that's all about this one. Okay, what is the next one? The how long will an energy source last for us? See, nowadays we are daily we are using different kinds of source of energy. This all source of energy comes from only non-renewable. Majority comes from only non-renewable source of energy. The non-renewable source of energy such as fossil fuel such as coal, petrol, diesel, kerosene, natural gas, and so many things. Okay, every day we are using the petrol, diesel, kerosene, natural gas, and coal, and so many things. Okay, if we use this range, then we can get the energies from the fossil fuels, which mean non-renewable sources, for upcoming just around 40 years only. After that, there will not be alternative sources. Okay, who estimated the coal and natural gas reservoirs estimated that? I am not. Okay, not I am. You don't get confused. Okay, yes, that's all. Say my suggestion, we need to reduce the usage of the fossil fuels. Okay, what are the ways we can reduce the fossil fuels? That is my suggestion. Okay, yes, first one, switch off the electrical gadgets when not in use. That is first point. That is my opinion. For example, in most of the rural areas, the street lights glowing throughout the day. Unwantedly throughout the day in rural areas, the street lamps are glowing. That is one of the wastage of the electric energy. We reduce that. Okay, first one, switch off the electrical appliances when not in use. Is not only for bulb, it can be refrigerator, air conditioners, fans, or whatever it is. That is first one. And second one, use efficient electrical appliances. The efficient electrical appliances such as CFL bulb, because CFL bulb consumes very less amount of electric energy. Compared than normal filament lamp. Tamil is a gundu bulb suraliya, that is normal filament lamp. So use efficient electrical appliances, that is second point. And third point, use solar cooker. Use solar cooker, because solar cooker the energy consumption is very less, as well as the solar cooker works only because of the sunlight. So we can save some energy levels, electric energy level. That is third point. And fourth point, use pressure cooker. At home for cooking something, you use pressure cooker, because pressure cooker consumes a very less amount of fuel. Okay, less amount of LPG. That is fourth point. Okay, then fifth point, use bicycle. Please use bicycle to go to short distance, to go to shop, to go to market. Use bicycle. Okay, so nowadays we are using a motorbike. okay, which means bike. So wherever you go to, whether it is a short distance or long distance, wherever you go, we use only motorbike. Please avoid that. Use bicycles to reach, to go to short distance like a shop, market and so on. So these all are the ways to reduce the electrical, to reduce the energy sources. Okay, if you follow this all, definitely we can reduce the energy consumption. Okay, yes. So this lesson over, students. This lesson over, completely over. And book exercise we follow that. So 1 or 2 questions are there. Okay, most of the topics are deleted. 95% are deleted, portions are deleted. Few topics I have completed, that's all. Okay, so no more topics are there. Okay, yes. So chapter 14, source of energy, is completed. Everything completed, nothing is there. Okay, yes. Thank you, students. If you have doubt, you mark in your inside the book. Whenever you come to school, you come and meet me. I'll clarify your doubt. Okay, thank you. Just lesson 14, the source of energy lesson completed. Okay, thank you.